What if Alexander Isak walked out at Anfield as a red? Imagine it, the cop rising, the chants erupting, and the Premier League trembling. This isn't just a transfer rumour, it's a potential seismic shift. The 6'4" Swedish assassin, who once tormented Liverpool's defence, might soon be leading their attack. Last season, he scored 27 goals and won a trophy for Newcastle. He also had enough viral highlights to melt football Twitter, now X. His name lit up every transfer blog, every scout shortlist, but only one club had made their obsession public: Liverpool. This isn't a one-time fantasy. We're talking about a player who oozes quality, menace, and swagger. One who's already embarrassed Liverpool and now might wear their shirt. And with that insane assist against Everton, yeah, he's not just special, he's generational. So, buckle up, because this might just be the beginning of Liverpool's next great chapter, with Isak writing the headlines. Let's get one thing straight. Alexander Isak isn't just a good striker, he's a walking cheat code. Standing at 6'4" with legs like pistons and feet like silk, Isak breaks every striker stereotype. He's not just tall, he's fast. He doesn't just shoot, he glides past defenders like he's playing street ball in a Premier League match. And don't forget, he's already turned Liverpool's defense into a highlight reel for the wrong reasons. That game, Isak cooked. Now imagine him doing that for Liverpool, weekly. Let's talk potential. Isak doesn't just finish, he creates. He drifts deep, links play, pulls defenders out, then bang, he's gone. Through on goal. One touch, one finish. That Everton solo assist? That wasn't luck. That was elite-level improvisation. You think 27 goals for Newcastle was a fluke? Nah, that was the warm-up. Now here's the juicy bit. Liverpool's history with frontmen is legendary. We're talking about Ian Rush, Suarez, Salah, but they've also had heartbreaks. Stars like Michael Owen fading early, or Diego Jota struggling with injuries. But Isak, he's durable, explosive, clinical, and he fits Klopp ball to perfection. Pressing high, moving fast, dropping deep when needed. He's the multiverse striker, built for today, yet made like an old-school baller. And here's the fun twist. His height? It's not just for headers, it disguises acceleration. Isak takes those long strides and suddenly, boom, he's already behind you. You want comparisons? Think Suarez's fire, Thierry Henry's grace, and Haaland's precision. Sprinkle a bit of elegance in, and you've got Isak, except cooler. Newcastle doesn't want to let him go, and who can blame them? But ambition knocks. Isak wants trophies, he wants a legacy. And Liverpool, they're finally loaded. Just look at the Vardiol and Luis Diaz deals. They're building something serious. So, what if, just what if, Isak completes the puzzle? Alright, let's break this down. Could Alexander Isak actually become a Liverpool player? The short answer, it's more possible than you think. The whispers started small. One article here, a rumour there, then came Klopp's departure, the restructuring, and boom, Isak's name was suddenly everywhere. It wasn't just a fan fantasy anymore. Liverpool were interested, seriously interested. Newcastle knows what they have. A young star, 27 goals deep, already bringing silverware to Tyneside. He's not just a striker, he's their brand, their top shelf. That means Newcastle's not going to part ways easily. But Liverpool is rebuilding. They've got the money, they've got ambition, and they're hungry for that next game changer, especially with City lurking like a final boss on steroids. But here's where it gets spicy. Newcastle doesn't just fear losing goals, they fear losing their future. Isak is young, disciplined, and already delivering. He's not just part of the project, he is the project. And Isak, he's no fool. He's spoken about loyalty. He's hinted at building something special at Newcastle. But make no mistake, he's also ambitious. You don't just score goals like that against Liverpool and stay in second gear. He wants the Champions League spotlight. He wants golden boots. He wants Ballon d'Or whispers. So, what's the price? Around 150 million euros, give or take. That's steep, but not for Liverpool, especially when the return might be their most complete striker since Suarez. And if this deal pushes through, the entire Premier League might want to update their disaster plans, because Isak plus Liverpool equals chaos. Liverpool's forward line, it's sacred ground. Only the truly elite leave a mark here. Ian Rush, the club's all-time leading scorer, Michael Owen, the Ballon d'Or winner, Fernando Torres, the unstoppable in red, and Suarez, he didn't bite records, he devoured them. And then came the modern trio, Salah, Mane, and Firmino, the holy trinity. They didn't just win trophies, they defined an era. So what makes Isak worthy of this list? Let's start with the intangibles. Isak has that silent confidence. He doesn't need to thump his chest, his feet do the talking. And technically, the man's a machine. Now imagine what he'd do under Liverpool's pressing philosophy, linking up with players like Luis Diaz and Dominic Szoboszlai. And yes, he's still just 25, still improving, still nowhere near his ceiling. Comparing to Haaland? Sure, Haaland is a monster in the box, but Isak brings flair, fluidity, and finesse. He doesn't bulldoze his way through defenders, he dances around them. He's like if Thierry Henry and Zlatan had a very Swedish child. Now imagine him doing all that at Anfield. Will he match Rush's numbers? Will he inspire like Suarez or carve his own legacy? Whatever the case, if Isak walks through the Shankly gates, we're not just talking about a striker, we're talking about the next Liverpool legend in the making. Here's the twist. While Liverpool fans are dreaming of Isak in red, Newcastle fans, they're holding their breath. Because they know what they have is rare. You don't just stumble on a forward this composed, this technical, and this consistent. Not in today's market. Not when clubs are paying 60 million euros for players who can't trap a pass under pressure. And Isak? He didn't just score 27 goals last season, he did it while dragging defenders, linking play, and creating chaos in the final third. He didn't just show up, he showed out. So, why would Newcastle even consider letting him go? Short answer? They wouldn't. Not unless Liverpool backs up the Brinks trunk, rolls it into St James's Park, and throws in some bonus midfielders. But here's the problem. Isak's value is skyrocketing. He's now reportedly worth upwards of 150 million euros, and with FFP breathing down everyone's neck, Newcastle might be tempted to cash in while they still hold the power. Liverpool, they know this. They've already cleared space in their wage structure. Darwin Núñez hasn't quite hit expectations, and with Salah not getting any younger, Liverpool needs a new focal point. Someone who can carry the torch, ignite the front line, and terrify defenses. But Newcastle knows something else. Isak doesn't want to leave just yet. In interviews, he's talked about going into every game with the mentality to score, and doesn't think about breaking records. He's also talked about the performances of the team being good recently. The Magpies see him as not just a star, but as the cornerstone of a new football empire. But as Liverpool circles, that empire is under siege. And now, the question is, will loyalty hold? Or will the bright lights of Anfield be too much to resist? The tug of war is on. On one side, Liverpool, Champions League pedigree, history dripping from the rafters of Anfield, and the ambition to dominate Europe once again. On the other, Newcastle, a rising giant powered by big dreams, big money, and a vision to make St James Park the new fortress of fear. And right in the middle, Alexander Isak. Cool, composed, and probably scrolling through the rumours like the rest of us. The reality is, Liverpool wants Isak, not as a backup, not as a maybe, but as their guy, their next Torres, their new Mane, their future. He's fast, he's elegant, he's lethal. The kind of striker who doesn't just score goals, he scores headlines. But here's the catch. Newcastle, they know that too. They didn't polish this gem for another club to mount it on their crown. They've backed him, nurtured him, and seen him evolve from a skilled youngster into a Premier League monster. They've invested time, tactics, and trust. And with the way Eddie Howe is restructuring his team, it's clear Isak is plan A, B, and C. So, will it come down to money? Not likely. Liverpool can afford him. They've shown restraint in the market, saved up their chips. But more importantly, they've built a system that fits Isak like a tailored suit. High press? Check. Quick transitions? Check. A fan base that would chant his name from the first touch? Double check. But loyalty, it's a tricky thing. Isak has made no demands, no cryptic social posts, no transfer requests, just performances, goals, class. And that makes this even more dramatic, because whether he stays to become a Newcastle legend or makes the move to join Liverpool's elite, one thing's certain, the Premier League hasn't seen the best of him yet. And whichever team unlocks that version, they won't just win games, they'll change the title race. So, here we are. Alexander Isak, one of the most exciting, complete, and terrifying strikers in the world of football, standing at a crossroads. Will he stay loyal to Newcastle and build a new legacy in black and white? Or will he step into Anfield, slip on the red, and become Liverpool's next great number 9? Both clubs are hungry, both fans are dreaming, and one move could shift the entire Premier League balance. Will the next Liverpool v Man City clash feature Isak turning stones inside out? Will the cop erupt with Isak as he buries one top bin? You tell us. Smash the like button if you think Liverpool should make this transfer happen. Subscribe for more updates and insane football stories. And hit that bell because this summer it's going to be wild.